Guess who's back, bitch?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. My name's Tolani and you're watching Tea Time with Tea Reads.
Maybe I'll read a book, or maybe two or three. I'll add a few more paintings to my gallery. I'll play guitar and knit and cook and basically just wonder when will my life begin. Maybe I'll read a book, or maybe 17. I'll add a few more paintings to my gallery. Play guitar and knit and cook and basically just wonder when will my life begin.
So hi everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you are new here, you are most definitely welcome into my inner circle. So today I'm doing the Black Booktuber Tag. I was tagged by the lovely Monte from It's Monte Prize. Monte is hilarious. I love his content and I'll link his channel down below. And I was also tagged by the beautiful Monae from Life as Monae, who is the queen of makeup here on booktube in my opinion, because nobody has ever eyeshadowed like this girl shadows her eyes. Okay, I don't make the rules, you just have to accept it. The original tag creator Mariama from Reading Black, and their channel will also be down in my description bar below. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a headscarf today, it was wash day yesterday and my natural hair is not cooperating with me. I wanted to come here and give you looks, giving you natural babe vibes, but life doesn't always work out how you want it. So the first question is to tell us a bit about yourself. My name is Tolani. I am 20 years old. I am a law student. I really like food. Like, I love to eat. I started taking pole fitness last year and I really enjoy it. I love it. It makes me feel so alive. I also hope to start horse riding lessons soon. I write. I've got like 4 novels. The main one I'm working on, I have one. I also write poetry and spoken word. And the most important thing you need to know about me is that I am an onion. So you just peel and peel and peel, but I just got layers, bitch, because I'm multifaceted. So the more you peel, the more taller you unveil. Question 2 is, who is a black author that you love that a lot of people don't know about? And I don't know if this counts. I don't know about her reception internationally, but I know here in the UK she's very well known. That is Mallory Blackman, and this series is the Noughts and Crosses series, and this is now a TV show actually on the BBC. When I was watching Joel's video, he also mentioned Mallory, and to me Mallory was a very important part of my childhood, because growing up in the UK, when we study books in school and stuff, and I've been an avid reader from young, this is the only black author I recall us being taught. The series has a very special place in my heart, just the memories I have associated with the series in English, reading it with my class and stuff, and I really love Mallory, so thank you so much, because she was a huge part of my secondary school experience. Question 3 is, what is your favorite book about the black experience? That has to be, without a doubt, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I spoke about this in my Blackathon tag. First of all, can I just say this copy is fresh from Nigeria. Okay, my dad bought this for me from Nigeria. Things Fall Apart for me is a great allegory for the black experience, and the reason I say this is because usually when we speak about colonization, etc, etc, main narrative being perpetrated is slavery, but colonization was so much more than that. It was the theft and erasure of our traditions, our cultures, our languages, the things that made us us, and some of these things were taken away, and to this day certain traditions such as African spirituality is demonized because of the influence of white people and the West and the things they brought over to these countries in the name of, you know, them saving us, or our practices being demonic and barbaric. And so this is an excellent portrayal of that. I also wanted to say this is a great representation of how black culture is taken away from us, because when black people do something, it's either ghetto, like I said, improper, but when white people take it up for themselves, it's suddenly cool, edgy and urban, and this is also a great allegory for that as well. It's fantastic. It follows a man named Okonkwo, and honestly I think that's all you need to know. I went into this blind and I really enjoyed it. Question 4 is, what is your favorite book by a black author. I have a few for this. My old favorite was Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I read this whilst I was still in secondary school, I believe. This takes place on the backdrop of Biafra. Biafra, if you don't know, is a Nigerian civil war. It was the Nigerian civil war where thousands upon thousands of Igbo people were slaughtered. Noah Biafra, but it follows different characters as they navigate life whilst this war is happening. And Chimamanda is a phenomenal writer. I really enjoy her. This was one of the few writers that was actually being amplified internationally, that was not only black but she was Nigerian like me. I was in secondary school, like, not that I didn't want to read diversely, but I just read what's in the library. Like, I read what was in the school library. I'm in love with Chimamanda's writing, and this is such a heart-wrenching story. But my new favorites are Girl, Woman, Other by Auntie Bernadine and The 100,000 Kingdoms by fantasy queen N.K. Jemisin. I have a whole review of Girl, Women, Other on my channel, so you should definitely check that out. And The 100,000 Kingdoms is a fantasy story. It's fantastic. It's got everything you want. It's everything fantasy should be, in my opinion. It's got a corrupt government, it's got enslaved gods, it's got a slightly unreliable protagonist, but we love that about Yen. I have an absolutely shining 5-star review of this on my channel, so go watch. Question 5 is to recommend a black queer book. For this, there was no other choice. Pet by Akweke Emezi. I love this book. I speak about this book in my mid-year freakout tag. This book was fantastic. This book was actually recommended to me by someone who works in the Waterstones where I go to university, and they were just telling me, you know, like, this is fantastic. It's got queer rep, because the main character, Jam, she is a transgender character, so there's some trans rep in here. It's set in a world where monsters have been eradicated. These monsters discriminated against people for things such as their race or their religion, etc, etc, their gender, and so they had to be killed. And now they're living in a society, in a world where these monsters supposedly don't exist. Of course a monster still exists, and this monster ends up being an inhabitant of Jam's best friend Redemption's house, and this angel named Pet visits and alerts Jam to the situation, and Jam and Pet work together to find out who the monster is. Emezi is fantastic. This story means so much to me for so many reasons. I love the friendships in this book, the family relationship, and Pet is really interesting too. I think this book is a great allegory for real life. Like, there are people in this world that discriminate against you because of your gender, because of the color of your skin. These monsters can be anybody. These supposed monsters can be your teacher. These supposed monsters could even be your friends and you wouldn't know. And I really enjoyed that about the book, and I like how the monsters were presented, because that's not what I was expecting when I read it. Question 6 is recommend a book with a black person on the cover. And On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. The reason I'm recommending this is because, in my opinion, On the Come Up is the superior book. The writing in both this and The Hate You Give are phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but to me this is, like Monty said in his Black Booktuber tag, this is more of a black joy book, and I just enjoyed this one better than The Hate You Give, to be honest, even though, like I said, they're both 5-star reads. Question 7 is recommend a book by a black author that makes you happy, and I've got 2 books for this as well. It's Get Alive Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert and Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. Now, these both make me happy for different reasons. This is such a cute romance book. I love the romance in this. I also have a review on this for my channel, so you should go and watch that. Children of Blood and Bone, when it came out, meant so much to me because it's based on Yoruba mythology and Yoruba gods. I absolutely love mythology of all kinds, and to have Yoruba mythology in this meant a lot to me. Plus, this book is a fantastic allegory for the black experience, and even though I have some complex thoughts I have some complicated feelings with the second book, the first book is muy bien in my opinion. Question 8 is to recommend some black booktubers. I have a playlist which I'll link down below with over like 80 black booktubers you should definitely subscribe to and be watching. Obviously the people that tagged me, Monte and Monae, subscribe to them. I know the Unfriendly Black Hotties, which is a group of Black booktubers here who are friends, they have a playlist, so I'll also link their playlist down below. And I'm gonna tag my girls, so that is Monae, who's already done this, Maya, Lexi, Christine, Kristen, Deja, and Jelisa. So you should subscribe to all of them. Also Anne, my girl Anne, who I love, Shane from Luxurious Blue, who I also love, and Olivia's Catastrophe, who I love as well. Question 9 is, what is a book coming out in 2020 by a Black author that you're excited for? One of my most anticipated reads of the year, Cinderella is Dead, has already came out, so that's what I'm excited for. And question 10 is, tag some Black booktubers. I'm gonna tag, if I said your name before and you haven't done this yet, then you have been tagged. Consider yourself tagged. That is it for my Black booktuber tag. I hope you enjoyed it. Everyone, so much for watching my video. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, which will be linked down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.